Hello friends, this is Praveen. Welcome to the course on PHP and MySQL. In my last video, I had discussed about file uploading in PHP. Today, I am going to discuss about file handling in PHP. File handling. PHP scripts need to work with SQL result sets, data in files, and other type of data sources, and hence file handling is an important part of any web application. File handling includes creating a file, reading its content, writing into a file, to appending data into an existing file, and finally closing the file. PHP has several functions to handle files, and file handling in PHP can be understood in following order. Opening files. A file must be opened either to read or write. Reading files. Data from file can be read character-wise, line-wise, part of the file or complete files can also be read. Writing files. Data can be written on files which are opened in write mode. Closing files. Opened file must be closed to protect resource data. Opening files. Opening files. Fopen function is used to open a file. Syntax is fopen, file name, and then mode. The first parameter contains the file name of the file to be opened, and the second parameter is the mode in which file needs to be opened. So there are we can open in read mode, write mode, or append mode. So here $file fopen test.txt is a local file in the project folder, and R is for the read mode. F1 creates a pointer which points to the file mentioned. It can be either in the beginning of the file or at the end of the file. So let us check it in the browser. This is our Macromedia Dreamweaver 8 text editor. This is our PHP project site, and this is PHP projects folder. Now we have to add a new file. I'm giving it a name, filehandling.php. Filehandling.php. Now open it. So just open PHP script and then close PHP script. Now $file is equal to fopen. Function is used to open the file, and then file name, and then the mode. So there we have to make a text file to open that file. So I will add a new file and giving it a name test.txt, and we will write some data into it. So HTML, you can write any data, hypo text markup language, CSS, cascading, style set. Third is www world wide web, and fourth is MIME, multipurpose internet mail extension. Now we'll save it, close, let's save it. Open test.txt and then R. Sorry. Save it, press function 12. So it has been opened, it is not showing anything. Now get back to our presentation. different file opening modes. R. R is for open a file for read only. File pointer starts at the beginning of the file. W. Open a file for write only, erases the contents of the file or creates a new file if it does not exist. File pointer starts at the beginning of the file. A. Open a file for write only. The existing data in file is preserved. File pointer starts at the end of the file. Creates a new file if the file does not exist. So let us check it on the browser first. So here it is. We have opened the file in R mode, that means read mode. So to get to know about these modes, we have to use three more functions. One is fread function to read the file, fwrite to write data on the file, and then fclose function to close the open file. So we'll start reading echo fread, and here it is. We have to pass open file $file comma int length. We can pass on length in bytes, 100 byte suppose. Save it and then close $file. Save it. Press function 12. We can see the data. HTML, hypertext markup language, CSS, cascading styles, www, World Wide Web, my multipurpose. But complete data has not been read. So if we want to read complete data, then we have to pass the size of the file. So for that we have a function file size. File size, and within that function we have to pass the file name test.txt. So it will return the file size of the file in byte. So now it will read complete file. Everything has come now. HTML, hypertext markup language, CSS, cascading style sheet, www, World Wide Web, MIME, multipurpose internet mail extension. Now second is W mode. W mode. W mode, it opens a file for write only. So this echo fread will not work. So if we debug it or we try to check it on the browser, then there will not be any output. Just all fret. Length parameter must be greater than 0, as it while we opened this test.txt file in W mode, it erased the data in the test.txt. We can check it here. No data now. So data has been erased. Now if we try to write, so we will comment this echo fret and we will write something fwrite and $file. We have to write in this and some content, or we may pass any file as well. So we will pass PHP hypertext preprocessor. Save it. Press function 12 and then you can say the data has been read or written, sorry, written on the test.txt. We can check it. PHP hypertext preprocessor. Close. Now if there is no file, if we try to open a file which does not exist in PHP projects folder, then it will create a file. if we open it in W mode. So we are trying to open test1.txt, which does not exist in PHP projects folder. So what will happen? Save it, press function 12, close it. You can see test1.txt file has been created, and within that file, PHP hypertext preprocessor has been written. This one again, this thing has been written. Close. Next is append mode, A mode. So here, what will happen? The existing data in file is preserved. So whatever PHP hypertext preprocessor is written there. So if we change anything, try to write something. Suppose we try to write HTML or XML, extensible markup language. Save it. Press function 12. So this is in test1.txt. So test1.txt should the data, this XML extensible markup language, should get appended to the existing data. PHP hypertext preprocessor, and then data has got appended. Now, if we try to open a file which does not exist in the folder test2.txt, it is not existing in the folder. Test1 is there, test2 is not there. So if we will try to open, what will happen if we open in A mode? As it is in A mode and file does not exist, so it will create a new file test2.txt, and after creating, this XML extensible markup language will be written there. Yeah, it is this. Now get back to our presentation. So R is for read only, W is for write only, but it erases the contents. And if we try to open a file which does not exist, then it will create a new file. A is also for write only, but data gets appended or existing data is preserved. And if we try to open a non-existent file, then it will create that file. R plus R plus opens a file for read or write. File pointer starts at the beginning of the file. It is equivalent to opening a file in R mode, then W mode. It means when you read the file, content will be preserved. But when you write, then as much data of the file content will be overwritten as much we write in that. So let us take it first on the browser. So here we will write R plus. So we will first read it. Save it. Press function 12. We are able to write it. Now we will change something. F write, and here we will pass some data. PHP, and we will comment this one first. Save it. Now PHP. So XML will get overwritten by PHP. Save it. So data has been written in test2.txt and test2.txt PHP. XML has been replaced by PHP. So it means that content when you write, then as much data file content will be overwritten as much we write in that. So here PHP has been written 3 character. So 3 character XML has been overwritten by PHP. Now get back to our presentation. W plus. Open a file for read or write. It erases the contents of the file or creates a new file if it does not exist. File pointer starts at the beginning of the file. It is equivalent to opening a file in W mode, then R mode. It means when you read or write into the file, data will be erased. And rather you can say in W plus mode, we cannot read a file because content will always get erased. So let us check it if we can read fwrite, fwrite, and we will use here W plus and test2.txt. So we'll just comment this one, fwrite function. Again, warning, length parameter must be greater than 0. As when we open a file in W plus mode, data contents of the file gets erased. So there is no data in the file and it returns 0. And for reading, we need size more than 0 byte. So it is throwing an error. We can see the content here, no data. Earlier it was having some data. So now if we comment it and try to write something, save it, press function 12. So data has been written, PHP. Close. Now get back to our presentation again. A plus. Open a file for read write. The existing data in file is preserved. File pointer starts at the end of the file and creates a new file if the file does not exist. So let us take it on the browser. A plus echo fwrite. Save it. Press function 12. PHP. It is reading. Now we'll try to write it in the file as well. So PHP will try to write here. PHP. Save it. Press function 12. Yes, it is written. Now if we check in test.txt, PHP ASP, the existing data is preserved and the new data is gets appended to the existing data. Close it. Now get back to our presentation. This mode of file opening can be understood by a flowchart. So opening phase, if we need a file to open, then first we have to think what is the purpose open a file, in which mode we want to. So if the purpose is only for reading, then we should choose to open the file in R mode. In R mode, the file pointer will be at the beginning position. If the purpose is for writing only, then another question will come whether should be preserved or erased or truncated. So if data is not to be preserved or data is to be truncated, then we should choose W mode. If data is to be preserved, then we should choose A mode and the file pointer is at the end. Reading and writing. If the purpose of opening a file to read and write, then again another question will come. If we want to preserve the data, if yes, rather, if you want to preserve the data or if we want to erase the data, rather, we should say if we want to truncate or erase the data. If it comes yes, then we should open in W plus mode. If we don't want to erase the data, then we have to check whether the file pointer, we need file pointer in the beginning or at the end. If it is in the beginning, then R plus and data will be overwritten over the existing data. And if it is at the end position, then data will be appended. File reading files. Reading files. Files can be read into a string or array from the local system or from any URL by characters, bytes, or lines. The different functions to read a file or an URL are as below. Fread function, we have just seen this thing. fgetc function, it is used to read the data character-wise data from file. fgets, it is used to read line by line data from the file. File, we can read complete data from the file, but it is it stores data in an array. And file underscore get underscore contents, it is also used to read data from file or an URL. Both file and file underscore get underscore contents can read a file or an URL data from URL. So, but difference is file gives data in an array while file underscore get underscore contents gives the data in a string form. So fread function, we have seen this. Still, it is used to read contents of the file. First parameter is the file pointer, and then size in byte. We have just seen it while checking this modes, file opening modes. So we won't go in that thing. fgetc, it is used to read a character from the file. So if here file is to be opened in read mode, then test.txt is a file in the project folder. Again, while if we want to read complete data, then we will use a while loop, or otherwise we can directly echo it. So we can echo $char. We will check it on the browser first. fopen a plus, we'll use R. We can use even a plus also. So fwrite will remove fwrite, we don't need now. $char is equal to fgetc $file, save it, and then echo $char. So it will read first character in the $file or test2.txt. This is PHP first character of PHP. Here in this test2.txt, PHP ASP. So first character, this was read. So if we want to read complete data, then we will use a while loop. While $char fgetc is not equal to false, then we'll echo. And after that, and we can check after, if we give a break statement, then we can check that it reads data in character wise. Save it, press function 12, PHP ASP. So it is writing data on per character basis. Now get back to our presentation. Reading files or fgets. It is used to read line by line from the file. So $file I've opened test.txt. We can open in any mode, R mode, A plus mode, R plus or W plus. W plus may not be able to read a file, so either R plus or A plus mode. So while FEOF, so this is another function we can check or we can use to print the whole data from the file, or we can use while loop as well. So we'll in the fgetc we have used while loop. Here we will use FEOF function. So just get back to our presentation, text editor, this one. Here we will use test2.txt as we need multiple lines, so we'll write some data here. XML test1.txt, two lines will one more line we will use CSS cascading style set. Save it, which save it. So test1.txt. So we will try to open test1.txt in R mode, and now we will comment this one. We will comment whole of this, and now we'll try to write use this fgetS. So dollar line is equal to echo fgetS dollar file. Save it, press function 12. Sent an unexpected echo on line 16. What is that? Oh, dollar line. Oh, sorry, dollar line. This one. That. Now we have to echo dollar line. Echo dollar line. Save it. Press function 12. PHP hypertext preprocessor. The first line in the PHP hypertext preprocessor. This first line. It is reading first line. Now, if we want to read complete data, we can either use while loop like this, or we can use FEOF function. So while loop we have used in fgetc. In this we will use FEOF function. So we will use here. Just comment it here, and now we will use while loop. While using FEOF function. FEOF. So it will loop while till it reaches to end of the file. So dollar file, and then echo fgetS dollar file. Save it, press function 12. So everything. PHP hypertext preprocessor, then XML extensible markup language, then CSS cascading style set. So everything, every line or complete file has been read. Now get back to our presentation from current slide. File. It is used to read contents of the file and to read data from URLs using HTTP or FTP protocol. It reads the entire file into an array, and each line of the file represents an element of the array. Syntax is file, file name or URL. Here we have passed test.txt or the any file which is present in the project folder or an URL, any URL. So here we have passed google.com, and then for each dollar file as dollar line as the contents or complete data is an array, so we can look through the elements of the array, and each line of the file represents an element of the array. So for each dollar file as dollar line echo dollar line. So first we will check in the test.txt local file, and then we will check in the URL. So get back to our presentation. So we'll just comment this thing now. Here, and we'll extend this. Control X, Control V. Now dollar file is equal to file function. So here we'll use test1.txt, and then we'll check first. We will check if what is the data type of dollar file variable. So var underscore dump function, we can use it. Var underscore dump dollar file. Save it. Press function 12. So data type is an array. So and every line is an element. First element is PHP hypertext preprocessor. Second element is XML, and third element is CSS. So we can look through these elements using for each loop. So for each dollar file as dollar line, then echo dollar line, echo dollar line. Save it. Press function 12. We can see it, or we can give a break here, comma, break. Save it. Press function 12. So everything as it is CSS 3 lines. Now get back to our presentation. File underscore get underscore contents. It is used to read contents of the file and to read data from URLs using HTTP or FTP protocol. So what file function? File underscore get underscore contents function. Both read data from URLs as well as the file within the project folder. But the difference is file stores the data in an array form, while file underscore get underscore contents function stores the data into an string. So syntax is very similar to the dollar file function. Just we have to pass a file name or URL. So we'll check it on the browser first. Here again we'll comment again. Control X, Control V. So dollar file is equal to file underscore get underscore contents, and we can pass test1. Sorry, it should be in string. Test1.txt. So when it reads, so what is the data type of dollar file variable now? Var underscore dump dollar file. Earlier, when we were using file function, the dump was returning an array. Now it should return a string. string data type, length 89 characters. Or we'll comment it and simply we can echo it. Echo $file. Echo $file. Save it, press function 12. This one. Now instead of passing a file, we can pass an URL. HTTPS www.google.com. So it should read data from google.com site and it should print. So this is the Google website within this file handling PHP. Google website page, Google page. It has read the complete Google page. We can read same data using file as well. Just we can check it here and comment this thing. We'll put this comment here and we'll pass your Google. Just copy this thing from $file from file function as well. Same thing. So both file and file underscore get underscore contents can read data from URLs and a file in the project document or project folder. But the difference is file function stores data in an array form, while file underscore get underscore contents function stores data into an string. Now get back to our presentation. Writing files. Writing files, fwrite function, we have seen it. Fwrite function is used to write into a file. The file must be opened in a mode which support writing. That means we must open the file in A mode, W mode, R plus mode, W plus mode, or A plus mode. The first parameter contains the file name of the file and the second parameter is the data to be written. So if we open test.txt, W mode is a file in the project folder. This data is to be written in test.txt file. We have seen this, so we'll not check it again on the browser. Next is closing files. Closing files. Fclose function is used to close a file which is pointed by an open file pointer. So syntax fclose file pointer. So this is the file pointer which is the variable which is used to open a file. So $file fopen test.txt r fclose $file. Here, one thing we have to keep in mind that a file has to be closed first using the fclose function if it has been written via fwrite function, and you need to read the contents of the file. It means when you open a file in R plus mode, A plus mode, or W plus mode, the modes are for read and write both. But if you first write if you write something in the file using fwrite function, then you cannot immediately read that file. If you want to read that file after fwrite function, then you have to close it. So we'll just take it again. So we'll just uncomment this thing. Control X, Control V, and we'll uncomment this part. Control X. Here we will comment start from here. So we have opened, we should open in A plus mode. We'll comment here echo fred. So test1.txt A plus fwrite function. We have used fwrite function. Comment here as well. And we'll close here. Control V. Now fine. So if we have used to write some data in this test1.txt file, and if we try to read data, echo fread dollar file comma any data. Suppose we want to read 10 character or 10 bytes data. Save it, press function 12. We are not getting any output as we have used fwrite function. So we need to close to read this test1.txt file. We need to close before reading the data. So control C, we need to close it and we have to open it again. Save it, press function 12. Now we can read PHP hy. So, if we want to read complete data, then we have to use file size function, and within this we will pass the file name test1.txt. Save it, press function 12, complete data. The last 3 times ASP has been appended. Get back to our presentation. We can see here this one ASP first time, second time, and third time. So every time it has been appended. Fclose function works on local file system which are accessible by the server. So fclose function, we cannot work it when you open an URL or a file outside the server. So we have seen how files can be handled in PHP. We have seen different modes of opening: R mode, W mode, A mode, R plus, W plus, and A plus mode. In my next video, I will be discussing about MySQL database connection in PHP. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, then please like, subscribe, and share it.